Okay, so now it feels like let's get this party started. So what I had seen now, so the Congress thing where they've been doing the vote, where it's all seemed really like ridiculous, which if you're paying attention and you're following the people and stuff, you probably would know more about it. I just don't know about it because I don't follow it that closely. So, but I did see where Matt gets recommended for Trump to be the speaker. And so, you know, when you put it together, so him, Trump saying the other day about the 7th, he was going to make an announcement. Just is so funny. Like, because to me, how I'm looking at it is he was like telling them, oh, well, be ready because the 7th, there will be an announcement. And so I saw a lawyer talking today, and they said, so it was all put into play. He was talking about how, like, things were designed or changed or something. I would imagine that probably some of this stuff was set up like during 2016, during that reign, where because he was doing that so much in the executive orders. He was like building a wall. He seriously was building a wall around the cabal. So they, like I said, they just kept running into roadblocks. Like they can't follow through on some of this stuff because they already knew what they were going to do. So they set up roadblocks and parameters, even though, you know, I mean, there's still going to be mass casualties, like, you know, but it would have been way worse. I mean, at this point, they were planning on, you know, most of us being gone, and the ones left would be completely controllable, you know. And man, what was it I just saw about just stuff on the reproductive stuff? It's just not good. It's not good at all. You know, I mean, what they're doing and stuff. And it's hard to watch, you know, like you can see the whole big picture, but to see like little ones popping up here and there, like, you know, where they're it's like sinking in and they're realizing that, you know, Houston's got a problem. So now it is, you know, there's a lot of people coming into their awareness about stuff with their health and, you know, all sorts of stuff with the reproductive problems. And somebody was talking about, it was another one talking about this mutant gene problem, and that we're not even going to see, like, it could be the people. Okay, like I know somebody who, and they have a healthy baby. So that healthy baby, and remember, we're being watched as science experiments. So that healthy baby can grow up and be sterile or give birth to some mutant. Like that is like, it's not right now, it's like what is to come. So it's creepy, man. It's so creepy. God, these people are so fucking wicked. I just saw now, even, I mean, this is how absurd shit is, because I have been talking about it since the beginning of me speaking out publicly about, you know, the feeding schedule, the food pyramid, the whole thing is to create sickness and obesity. And so now it's even gone that step further when now they're taking off the healthy food from the, you guys, you've got to just focus on the junk food. Donuts and chips, that is the way to go. So they're doing their whole food pyramid, switching it. And I had seen a report, somebody shared this Fox News report where the guy was talking, and he was talking about, you know, this NIH who, you know, when your spouse is covering your ass in this shit, it's like, oh my God, this is so annoying. But the guy who was talking about this food pyramid thing, he was saying about the, who was it? It was a business. They all have weird names like Tulik or something. Tulik Industrial Labs or something like that. That they are paid to test all these, you know, bad foods to see how sick we would get. That's what we've been under this whole motherfucking time. This is just to show us. This has been our whole entire lives. It's just like, oh my God, how far they go. Now to tell us like, no more healthy food. The healthy food you thought was healthy is very bad for you. That's why we have to grow it now in labs. And, you know, it's so creepy too. Just all of the food, you know, especially with Stella, you know, and make her meat and stuff like that. And just be like, man, all this shit is like geoengineered, you know, garbage. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. And I don't even know, you know, what they are spraying on us. I saw this woman, and because all these people are very concerned that they've been under the fog. Like, I knew there was a thing about the fog. I knew when they were testing on us. I knew it, man. But so now, you know, they've gone, you know, national on the fucking fog. I think they've gone global. But this one woman was showing these trees out in her yard, fruit trees. And she said before the fog, they were perfectly healthy. You could go out and pick fruit. Now they're dead. Within 3 days, these trees were dead. So, and they had fruit. She was showing. And then everything was, you know, dead. So that is, you know, it's so crazy how you can go out and you can see a tree be killed, but then, you know, you just go in the house and think like you must have caught the flu. It's like, what the hell? Then, so over here now, I mean, it's just like one thing after another. And poor Stella, she's just miserable. And I just keep doing all the detoxes. I mean, what am I going to do? Just keep detoxing. Especially, you know, she wants to go outside. And it's just nonstop. They're pouring either rain or ice or on the days it's not rain or ice, it's a spray. And the weird colors outside. And the weird way it's lighting up. Like the whole thing is just eerie. It's just fucking weird. But man, I don't know, all I can think of to call it is like electrical shooting through my body, you know? And so last night I was just so miserable. My hands were hurting so freaking bad. I can't even stand to touch my phone. Even just texting, it's like electrical is shooting at my hands. I don't understand. And if I'm having so much, just like, do people not notice this? Like, this is so weird. Like, I have to set my phone over there. Like, it's emitting radiation into my body. Am I just more susceptible or something? Like, even if I set it on my lap, I'll start having pain in all on my stomach. And then, so last night I smoked a whole cigarette. I was like, fuck this. You know, maybe it's, you know, the venom or something. Like, god damn. And so it seemed like it helped a little bit. Man, but cigarettes make me feel sick and dizzy. So I, you know, got through that. And then this morning I did one of those soak baths with the bentonite clay, the apple cider vinegar, the Epsom salt, and baking soda. There might be another ingredient. And I think it's supposed to be like a cup of each. And you're supposed to only do it for like 20 minutes. And it does something about pulling all the toxins out. So I feel okay right now. But, you know it'll start getting really stiff again. And then these electrical things. But this morning now is just my stomach is like, it just wants everything out. Like, just go. It's like, oh my gosh, it is just nonstop with these attacks on our health and shit, man. It is so... I'm just sick of it. I'm so sick of it. But it feels like we're so close right now. Like, especially because that one lawyer guy who was explaining it, so he was saying, you know, he'll get voted in, which I'm sure he will. I'm sure this was all part of the plan. I'm sure when he said he was going to make an announcement that he knew he was going to get in, and he knew what he was going to be announcing days ahead of time. And he was just... you know, giving them the what's for. And every time I see Kamala, she's just always like she's just, she knows she's fucked, man. She's fucked. But, you know, you do the crime, you know, be ready to serve the time. And these crimes are horrendous. I mean, there's some hideous motherfuckers out there. I just saw this guy, big old fat guy too, just gross, like gross looking guy. Like, this guy, I don't even know. It's just gross is all I can say. And it was somebody showing his interview. I don't know. I know I can't say the stuff he was saying. So I'll talk like a kind of a code and kind of give you, because you had to actually hear some of the stuff come out of his mouth to get the real cringe of it all. But he's been with at least 300, 2 to 300, 8 to 10, maybe 12. I think 8 to 10 year old. It might be 8 to 12 year olds. And he's a doctor, works for a big children's hospital, and he worked there for 9 years, where he lived there. And he had access to all the, little kid patients. And so in his interview, he's so fucking ego arrogant. Like, oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've had plenty of boys come in and, they just crawl and get into my bed. And they just reach down and start touching and then I reach over and accommodate and touch theirs, because that's what little boys like. We like to, he just is going on. I mean, like, to him, it's so fucking normal. It's like, completely natural. And yeah, 8-year-old boys are running around just all, want this guy's and want, these people are fucking warped. Motherfucking warped. And then then the person who was showing the video of this interview showed what this hospital is doing now on their ads, and it's all on promotion of taking, uteruses and sterilizing children. So, there's just this is all stuff where people have to wake up and see. I mean, it's like the process is so fucking slow. Like, you see people waking up and seeing stuff in the sky, waking up, seeing stuff about sickness, waking up and seeing stuff about the food, waking up and seeing stuff about the government, the medical. It's just like, man, just nonstop, where people are just like, oh my God, you know what happened? Oh my God, you know what happened? And then on top of that, just relationships are all just going crazy. Nothing can stay hidden. It all has to come to the surface. Everything has to be revealed. And so, this is the big shakeup. But so the exciting thing was, so one of the things I had seen, more stuff on the bank stuff. So, there's already, apparently there's being runs on the bank already. There's lots of people who are not getting their money. I mean, one guy, his horror story, he deposited $33,000 into his account, and then a couple hours later his bank closed down. So he went to try and find his money. It's just gone. They said they have no idea. My money is just gone, $33,000. It's kind of weird how it keeps being so many with this. I mean, that one's $33,000, and then fucking Andrew David, there's 33 cars, and then this other lady with their $35,000 check that they wrote her, the bank wrote her a hot check, like, it's just a fake check that nobody will cash to clear out her account. And it's just like, oh my gosh, one thing after another. I mean, people going in just trying to get $1,000. And so, and then, the order now that they have to, whatever they say, like if everybody says, like, I've got $1,000 in my account, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 59 cents, whatever, they have to, if it's on the books, they got to have it in the bank. And they can't. It's impossible. There's nothing to go in the banks. And some of the smaller banks, I think, is even going to be in worse shape because of the, if the bigger ones pull and put their stuff into theirs and leave them, it all depends on how the bank, how they were structured and who bought who out and stuff like that. There's all of this shady shit, just like they do with the fucking real estate, just like what they do with all of the money marketing stuff. It's all just, it's one of those bait and switch. It's one of those like under the nut, like, where's the ball? Where's the ball? It's all it is, all the fucking time. And so all that stuff is being revealed. I saw this video, and this was a guy who was showing a new development over by him, I think. I don't know all his videos, because the video I saw, he was saying that, it seems to be the developer or something is going on, because this guy has gone public about this. And so they're trying to stop him. And now buyers are trying to pull out of the sales and stuff. So the video I saw, he was going in and showing all the problems with these new houses. Oh my God. The shoddy work. Oh my God. And they're turning around selling these houses, because I'm sure it's the same motherfucking thing right here. And they're turning around selling these houses for up to $400K, it's like fucking ridiculous. Like, God damn. And people just, and inspectors are in on it. I've said, it's the whole thing. It is like everything. It's the politics. It's the celebrity. It's the medical. It is all areas, all sanctions, all things that were a part of our life, that the people who went into them, they had a choice, Like I said, there was some who went into, I really want to help people get a house. Then there's, they go in, they start seeing, oh, loophole here, loophole there. Oh, I can make a little cash here. I can make a little cash there. Oh, it's not going to hurt if we just go ahead. And then you get yourself deep in this criminal element with all these people. And there's always that, an upper. And then you're kind of locked in. That's their whole plan, is to lock you into crime. That is why they do all of this stuff with the blackmail and stuff. It's how this system works and keeps itself going. Like, you make a mistake, you're fucked, man. They will hold that. You gotta claim your mistake. You gotta go full force in and just go, hey, call yourself out. And, it's like putting yourself on the mercy of the collective, kind of, because, the criminal shit that people have done. But so, because this guy was even calling out, like, the inspectors, all the people involved. He was calling all these people out in whatever county he was in. I don't remember. But the work on the house, oh my God. Like, the tub, you put water in the tub, it wouldn't drain. The faucets leak. The windows won't even shut. There was a window that on the side of the house seal that was gapped. It wasn't even fucking in right. Like, what? All of the whatever those little smokestack things on the top of everybody's houses, that I think it lets it's like the venting system of the house, and none of them were capped. They were all just wide open. So any animal or any bird or anything, just go in there and lay. I mean, I've had a bird. I lived in an apartment, and a bird got in the one above my stove and died. And I started having all these maggots and shit come out. Like, oh my God. You have dead animals, and you'd have squirrels breaking into your attic and shit. Like, it's mental. And then they had... everything was just thrown together. Windows wouldn't shut. It was just a wreck. And then these people are going to go in and pay all this. And you could tell by looking, these were like fancy houses, like over here, where they're trying to sell them. And it's all such show. Even on this one part where he showed, I think it must have been down in the basement, because you could see the board going across, like a foundation board. But so he's standing looking at it. So it must be in the basement. So foundation board going across like this. And then this piece that holds it. And this one was hanging off of it. It's like, what? What inspector would fucking have even... You can't even, like, I've been married to construction people. Every fucking thing they do, an inspector has to come in and pass it and sign off on it. Are you motherfucking kidding me? Like, an inspector came in and signed off on that foundation structure? Like, no fucking way. These people are so corrupt. And like I've been saying, it's the most corrupt, that are continuing to work. And that is why it's becoming more and more outrageous, because there is a lack of balance. There isn't, the rest of us in there buffering how rotten some of these people are willing to go. How far some of these people will take it. Like, are you motherfucking kidding me? Your windows don't shut. They're not even sealed to the wall. You've got everything open. And then the house is just standing on a piece of wood that looks like it's about to go. It makes no sense. And, but, that is the absurdity, and this guy was really mad too, because he was saying, that since he's been showing this and he's having all these buyers pull out of this area of wanting to buy these homes, that the developers are getting really mad at him, the inspectors, all of this stuff. And he said it's some bullshit, because now they're putting pressure on the people who are buying, and they're making some sort of like an ordinance or something. They're forcing them into closing, or they're going to charge them money or something. So they're forcing people, like, but the whole thing with the banks and stuff is all going too. So that's going to, because the people running in on the banks. So when the banks are, all these people going in, because that keeps spreading and spreading and spreading faster and faster and faster. Where it was, like a few weeks ago, you see one person complaining about it. Now it's a whole bunch. A bunch of people are talking about the what's going on with the finances, but most of them are scared because they know our government is corrupt as fuck, and that they are very connected to the money, and they're scared of what's going to happen to their money, what's going to happen to their things, what's going to happen to all of this stuff. And that is what we're going to see. But as more and more of them go in, and then the banks can't. I heard that there's banks closing now. There's a whole bunch of banks that are closing down, so you can't even get into your bank. And it's just going to keep going until the point where it's finally called out what's going on. Like, and I don't know how. I think it's all coming in fast. So if this lawyer said, so Gads has already put him in, and he's going to accept the nomination. Then they're going to do the vote. So today it should go down. So I would assume, unless they're kind of trying to create some drama, like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? But that would be to try and draw more attention to the situation, especially for the people who are asleep. And, but I know people who are asleep and they're not paying attention to anything. They just want everything to go away. They're just la, 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 la in life. And it's just, life's too hard. Leave me alone. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it. So it's like, oh God, this is going to hurt. So then, when they do the vote, though, when he gets put in, well, right away he can remove Joe and Kamala. So they're like, definitely that's going to go. And then he's going to be the sitting one, so there's a whole bunch of stuff, because, it's going to, this is something with it taken down with the Congress, because they should have, that should have already been done. So those people are all going to be going down once he gets back into that place, because, that's where it has to be the show. Like, he has to be on the stage to do his part now, is taking all of these people down. So it's just going to be like the same thing with the banks, the politics, it's just, and the medical, the developers, all of the stuff is just going to be going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And so, to me, this is really exciting, because if it's going to be, if the 7th he's going to announce, and then he's back sitting, and everything is going to collapse real fast, because I would think, I don't know if the money would go after, and then he would say, this is why. Like, I don't know. This is going to be so interesting to see how, the different ways that they do or say all this stuff to get it all going. I just seen something else too. It was like popping into my head, trying to if I can remember what it was. There's all these solar flares. So I know my TV and stuff has been having disruptions. Oh, and then still, where I see these people talking about ascension symptoms, there's some, but then they add in everything that is not. I just saw this woman, she was going on and on about, like, I don't know what's going on with my ear. Like, it is so loud, and it is like all this pressure. I've never had anything like this. I'm very clairvoyant. I've got all the clairs. And so normally that's when they're trying to communicate with me, but I just don't understand because, she's just going on the whole thing. It's like, this is... To me, that is, well, it's ego. You're just completely absorbed into that, and you're not even, noticing what's around you in your environment. Like, you're basing it on limited perspective. If you don't even understand about the towers and stuff, I went into her comments and said, it's the towers. And not only that, it's like 444. Not only that, it's coming out of our Wi-Fi. It's coming out of our electrical things. They've cranked all that shit up. And I went into her comments, and there was one other person that I saw, said the same thing as me. And then all the other ones, and like I said, like, there's this whole progressive spiritual side that, is all very social justice and, all that stuff. And they're going to be in for some surprises, man. Like, and all, the ascension symptoms is your hair falling out. What? Your hair falling out is an ascension symptom? Please. Like, oh my Lord. So, anyways, I don't know. I mean, I saw this one woman, and this, she's in Humboldt County, and I've seen a lot of people, like, talking about the storms over there, and I saw some news stuff, and it's about to go, is it going to extend all the way through next week? And it's going to be a three for where one's going to come, it's going to simmer, then one's going to come, it's going to simmer, and I think the third one's supposed to be the worst one or something, which, is, the amount, I think it's going to be like 6 or 8 feet of snow in the Sierras, and it's going to be like 10 inches of rain in some areas that are already flooded and stuff like that. So this woman who I saw, who was in Humboldt County, and she was talking about how bad it is, and she's like, and we just had these 2 earthquakes. And she said, what's weird is in the summertime I had this really weird dream, and we were outside and everything was flooded, everything was underwater, and we were standing up on the hill because I live in Humboldt County. I'm up on a hill, and so I was looking down and everything was underwater. And she said it was really weird. And then, so she said, what's really weird is, like, I went out yesterday and looked, and the water is rising. And so she said that, she was asking other people in, Oregon, California, and Washington State, what they're dreaming, if they're having the same thing, because there's this saying with this water thing. And this could be it. This could be, whatever their water cyclone thing, that they're going to create some sort of a tsunami. I mean, they don't even know all the stuff they're doing. This is all testing. So who knows? And the worst that they want it to be the worst thing they can create. They want it to mass casualties and all that stuff. So, and Newsom now, he's already said it's a state of emergency. And then it's moved up into Oregon. I saw where people in Oregon were, they're being told to be prepared. I don't know when they're going to start, telling us, that, I don't know, whatever is going to go on with the storm, I mean, it's not that far from San Francisco up to Seattle. And Seattle is the problem for us, is that whole little area. And that's the one that's on the ocean. But also Bellingham is like the whole from the 5 going up from Seattle to Vancouver. You're riding pretty close to the coast. So but I've already said that our evacuation, there'd be no way, and who knows, what's going to go down. Are we really about to? I mean, it happened already in Pakistan. They already changed the map to look like the doomsday map. So, and somebody also sent me a comment and said something about, well, where you are seems like it's going to be like a safe place to be for the storm or something. And I was just like, oh man, I'm worried of because if they bring up the water like it shows in the map, that's gonna, if it doesn't come all the way up to my driveway, like it has to fill the valleys. And so I'm up on the hill, so it has to fill the valleys, but I'm not way up on the hill, because in the doomsday map it shows it going past where I'm at. Like maybe the high mountains would be sticking out some. I don't know. But to me, if the water does like what they're showing on that, it's going to come all the way up. There would be no way to get out of here without a boat or to cross over the top of the mountain. So I don't know. This is like so nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking. And then you just got to keep being like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's like so much self-talk through this whole thing, I swear. Keeping myself sane, and to keep reminding myself, like I'm not crazy. Like of the stuff that they're always telling me and showing me, even about my own future things. One thing that they keep on saying right now is like how, my stuff has been kind of like hidden almost. It is like I've been kept in some sort of back room somewhere. And I know I'm not the only one, because from what they were showing me or telling me is that they didn't want interference. Like they didn't want people coming in and interfering with what I was talking about. They didn't want people to come in and attack me, ask questions to where it was like, getting me off, because that is happening to some people. And I know they're plants. You can just tell. You can just tell. Like somebody will be talking about something, then all of a sudden somebody comes in and says something and it totally throws them off, and they start talking in a completely different direction. Like they just want to please these other people. And, that's human nature of our old system, and we're breaking free from that. So it's kind of like a whole restructuring of how, we respond. And so to me, it's been hard for sure to always feel unlistened to. And like, I feel so fortunate to have the people who I do, talk to and stuff, like, to have this connection. I feel like that was really lucky. And that's why I've said, like, it's like, there's no accidents. For the people who have found me and have been listening to me, like it's kind of trippy, really. And but I feel like there's a big reason about all of that too, which is still, I've got to see how some of the stuff plays out. But when they've definitely said that there's going to be like a thing where people who haven't been heard are going to all of a sudden be heard. And to the people who haven't heard them, it's going to be shocking. Like, where have these people been? How are they saying this? Like, how do they know this and stuff like that? Because I think it's all been kind of on purpose, because it wasn't supposed to be where everybody could know what I knew before. Like the people who I have been helping, like that was all set. The way that it's going to be helping when things turn the other direction is going to be different. And I think that there is even, stuff where some of y'all who have been listening to me, there's something where y'all are going to be helping people or something. Like there's going to be something, I don't know, they say magnificent. And they constantly use these big words, like really, they keep trying to tell me. And I think it's going to be, exciting to finally be heard and to be able to help people. And but there is something all about the timing and the reason why that certain things had to come out the way they come out. So anyways, they've told me since I started doing this how, I mean, so many times, like I'd be like, trying to ask them, and they were always showing me this specific time and telling me that everything about what I was doing and saying was like associated with that or something. It was like when that turns, that's going to be the turn. That's when things are going to go the other direction. So I don't know. This is this is a lot of stuff where I'm trying to understand my own communication, because even when I was a kid and talking to him, and then as an adult too, but as an adult there was still the 3D draw. So it was very focused on success and getting my stuff and owning my stuff and being this and be all of this certain lifestyle. But that's why they had to allow me to do that, so I could see how it blew up and how that was the wrong direction to go. And they let you play that stuff out. But when I was a kid and they were talking to me, always telling me about the science experiment, we're being watched and all sorts of stuff, whatever they would tell me, then it wasn't like it is now. Now it is just non-fucking stop. Like, I feel like I was always talking to them. Like, I spent a lot of time alone. I spent a lot of time, like, if I was in my bedroom, I'd be in there, I'd, like, writing poetry and, thinking deep, too deep for everybody else. But I was, there was always a communication, but I don't know. There's just something since all this has been going and I've been here by myself and stuff, where it's like a whole nother level. It's like a whole nother level. And so there is a lot for me to try and, decipher what it is, that they're showing me and telling me, and how, what it all means. It's so funny too, because how many things that they had shown me or told me, and I totally trusted, when I'm looking up and I'm seeing like, yeah, that's not the real sun. What? That is fake. And then, they start showing me all these different things, like it's a total round circle, it's silver, it's like lights up white. It's like, that's a fucking light bulb. This is not a motherfucking sun. And so, when I started talking about that, all these different things that I would talk about, it just sounded so crazy. Even when I was first saying, don't drink the water. Something's wrong with the water. I know something's wrong with the water. And then the air, when I was saying, and they were spraying something that was killing the trees and stuff, all of those things, when I, sounded so kooky. But I was kept trusting them, and now it's just like all over the place. All that stuff that I was saying is, people are talking about all the time, like all sorts of people. And it's so funny too, when some of these people, this woman, she was talking about the fake sun, and you can tell like a lot of them don't want to be thought of as crazy. A lot of people don't want to be thought of as crazy. And so she was saying, all the different countries are putting out that they have one, and everybody's trying to hurry and roll theirs out. And she seemed to be all into, how it's protecting us. Like, man, some of these people who think like, oh my Lord, have mercy. Right now, how I said all these different beta projects going on. So France apparently is a beta for a 15-minute city. And there's another one too. can't remember. It wasn't Istanbul. It was another place, secondary location. But anyways, so during quarantine, even they went in and they changed like driving streets into bike streets. Like they turned like a road into like 10 lanes of bike lanes. Like they're even going to control, like they want everybody on bikes. Like it was going through all of this different stuff. You know, in the smart cities, not only, you know, it's just so controlled. It's so controlled, and then you're not allowed to leave. And they've already shown like the districts. It is like the Hunger Games. I'm in District 10. In District 10, we are a little bit like the top of California and a little bit of Oregon and Washington State. That's District 10. Then when you look at all of the other ones, and that's how the FEM, they created this thing. And they're, you know, doing all of these disasters and stuff to try and promote us, to, you know, drive us, herd us into their places, you know, and create all of these big disasters so that we are more controllable. And another one just popped into my head. What was that one? It was, oh yeah, I think it was in North Carolina. It could be South Carolina. This guy, he's always talking. You can tell he's always getting attacked too. Because he's like, you guys always tell me, like, don't even pay attention to this. And he goes, I'm, you know, so sick of listening, whatever. So you guys don't trust me, whatever. But he said, like, this morning, this has been for a couple days. I've seen a few different people. But this morning, as of this morning, it was 22 planes, military planes, heading to the same spot. And he doesn't know where the spot is or what's going on, but he said definitely something's going on. And I've seen a lot of different people saying that. So, and that all goes with, again, the banks and the changing of the power and all that stuff is all coming to a head. And what they want to do, you know, is take down the power. And, you know, they've got the storm, the distractions, all of this stuff so that, you know, people aren't really noticing what's going on and stuff. I mean, they'll do everything if he gets voted yes. I mean, I would think that the power will go out immediately. Like suddenly all the grid shuts down. We're all sitting there in the dark. And you know, and that will be a military battle. I would imagine that's what the military is going. And I saw a bunch of people talking about that there is they have a military force. And the what are those people called? The National Guard is got a presence in their community, and it looks like a lot of stuff is being set up and stuff, like you know, if the camp the situation or what. But people are talking about there's a whole thing going in their area. It seems like it's over, but you know, I mean, over here we got the cyclone going on, so you know, I mean, they gotta jump over from one storm over to this. Oh, let's go over there now, let's go. I know, such. And there was more stuff too about the DC thing. To me, I don't think anybody's in DC. Like, I mean, they could be there at the Capitol right now doing this vote thing, but I bet you it's heavily military guarded. I bet you some of those people are already under arrest, and it's all for a show. It's to just move us into the next phase. It's like we have to keep, and some of it is kind of bumpy. But, you know, any of these things that they want to block, depending on how much control they still have, what they can do, if they can take down the grid or whatever. But it's going to be a military battle at that point. You know, there's no, I mean, we win. It's already written in the stars. We win. So it's not something we need to worry about. But it has something you have to be aware of. I mean, like, I can't just sit here and be like, oh, it's no big deal, you know. I mean, fucking a cyclone, tsunami. They could do whatever, you know, and it's going to come in the 100 miles of water from the ocean. Like, you know, you got to be ready and prepared for whatever they're going to be hitting us with, because they're doing everything they can to try and stop the inevitable, you know, and they can't stop it. So it's like a bunch of bullshit. And it's just, it's making us have to deal with so much more. But on the plus side of that, that wakes people up, because you can't, move on if you don't wake up and start doing your healing. Like, there's so many more people who I'm seeing that's sinking in, so and more spiritual people where that's sinking in, like, oh, there's more to this spiritual thing than just saying, hey, I'm spiritual. You think? Oh my God. Yeah, there is. Your spirit has a whole life path for you. And I saw this one woman. She was, this was kind of cool. This lady was, she didn't know any spiritual stuff or anything. And she was talking about that. She was watching some movie about reincarnation with her husband. And then she said that, in the movie, that these people came back life after life to keep finding each other in this movie. And she said, wonder if that could be us or something like that. And he said, yeah, definitely. I found you. And then she told their story, and it was like, oh my gosh, it was very, very spiritual, but in alignment kind of story. It was really cool. And she had no idea anything about that. But that's the thing, is our souls, our souls know so much more, and our souls have recognition. Our souls know, even if you don't know the person yet, your soul knows them. And so your soul, from, in my case, like, my soul is gonna, but to me, like, my soul and that other person's soul is already so connected. Like, it's weird. Like, it was so many times, like, I can hear them think, and then I get confirmation and stuff like that. Again, it's weird. Like, there's a lot of stuff I could talk about that, but until that, until that is confirmed to me, and I'm just a schizophrenic person sitting around thinking I'm hearing voices in my head and the TV's talking to me. So anyways, I know that our souls are connected in such a, magnificent way. And I just heard somebody else, my daughter yesterday, I told her to send me, or I said, how are you doing? How's Ziggy doing and stuff? And so she sent me a bunch of videos. Oh my God, he is a cute little fucker. He is so fucking cute. And it's so weird too to have a little dark baby in my family, because it's always been so blonde, except for a redhead, but mostly, except for everybody is pretty light. So anyways, it's funny to look at this little baby and be like, oh, that's my grandbaby. As he's so dark, and he's got such dark hair, and oh my God, he's got the cutest little freaking attitude. Oh my God. And he's always looking like, where the fuck am I? What am I doing here? Like, it's so cute. And what was I going to tell about that, though? Because there was something I was going to tell. I can't remember. Dang it. I can't remember what I was going to say about it. But, no matter what. Anyways, I think it's all about to change. And when it does, oh yeah, that's what it was. She sent me the videos of him, and I was talking to him in the video. So he was doing a video, and I started talking to him in the video. And I just feel certain that he could hear me. Like, I saw this other person, and they were talking about that they were talking, it was something about talking to somebody, or somebody saying something, and they could hear it, and then they came in and said it or something. Like, man, what was that? This was really kind of trippy, because it was the same kind of thing, like sending it over the airwaves, and the person could hear it. And I just know that we are all connected on but we question those things. Like, you hear somebody talking in your head, then you think like you're crazy, you're just making it up, it's just your thoughts and stuff like that. But it's really trippy when you start realizing, like, and you start conversing back, And for me, this one person, like, I'm always wondering, like, do they have awareness that we're talking? Like, this is so weird. Like, I can hear them, and they talk back to me. So, like, it's kind of strange. And then, like I said, I get confirmation all the time over things that are said. And so, I don't know. I'm excited to get out of this tedious part of this and get into the magical part. And I feel like that is what, that we're so close now. I feel like I'm not going to be disappointed no matter, if they drag this out, and they don't let him in, there's going to be a plan B. If there's some kind of thing that they're going to try and block that and not let him be the speaker, then that will be to expose that situation, that illegal, corrupt thing. Whoever it is, whatever they do, it will be another thing to bring to the surface to expose. So no matter how this all plays out, don't be disappointed. Just watch it as an observer and start noticing, like, oh, so that person, they had to be brought on the stage, because now the Frau, like, his wife is all on it. Like, man, the stage is becoming full. Like, they're bringing all of the bad people up so we can do the little march, see, oh, they were bad, they're bad, they're bad, they're bad. And then we're going to start seeing the justice. And, that's going to be an important part of the healing for people. And, there's just so much, like, so much. I mean, people were getting fucked in everything that anybody was trying to do in this world. Just simple buying a house, forcing people to buy houses where, it's not even structurally sound. And then and I knew when I got this place, it was weird on some of the things. But when, I have a fucking leak that's I still haven't got the bathroom fixed, and now the kitchen, and I don't know if it's from the pipes from the past storms, they just got too cold, but I've got all this leaking under my kitchen sink. But I know once things start going the other direction, I'm gonna pull out, not completely gut the bathroom, but pull out the tub, the floor, get down to the subfloor. And in the kitchen, I'm going to redo the pipes, redo the cabinets, and, really get it fixed. And then I'm going to put in some more vents and stuff like that. But for the leak situation that I had going presently, when I bought the house, the inspectors should have known. And I had 2 inspectors here at the time that were inspecting it for the wood stove, and somebody else who was here doing the repairs. And everybody said that inspector should have known about that. But they don't give a fuck. Even with this shit out here now with my porch, with what has happened with the flood. And now the wood is all fucked, and my porch is going to probably just fall off the house if shit doesn't hurry up and start going. Like, I'm not kidding you. As soon as things start breaking loose on the financial thing, man, I'm going to be like having to get stuff done right away. And I think I'm going to probably do the small house out back first so I can set it up. And then, she wants to stay here because I got to pick her up this evening. Well, if she wants to keep staying here, as long as she wants, she can stay out there. I want to be traveling and stuff. I want to set this up. So I want to get it all fixed up, nice in the bathroom and the kitchen, and not with these water problems. But there's just, there was just things that should have been caught in inspection. I was like, so the inspectors out here where I'm at in Whatcom County obviously are shady as fuck. But now seeing what that guy was showing, it was like, oh my God, it's just kind of the way it is. And just immoral people looking for a place to be, a way to get money into their accounts and funnel money. Just, man, it's so much like it's the whole cabal. It's the micro macro. It's the way they work, and then people have done it. That's why I said all along, It's not just the cabal, it is the people who made the choices to do evil to other people, to fuck people over, to screw people over, to step on people. That has been the issue. They were given the area to do it, you know, and then, but when you go on a spiritual level, like we all came in to play these parts so we could see, so we could acknowledge this experience and see, like, you know, I can't imagine anybody not seeing this as toxic as fuck. But when I saw those, that thing of that Whole Foods, and Amazon is doing it too, and you walk up, you don't even have to have anything, somehow it's in you, and you walk in and it like whatever, it monitors you. And then I would imagine it's like monitors all over the store. And so you just walk through the store and you fill your cart, and then you just walk out, and it somehow it just charges your card. But you, it's creepy, man. Like, why would you want? To me, it's so fucking creepy. And I feel like that there's so many of these high-tech people who would just be like, oh yeah, that's just the perfect, best lifestyle ever. And, you know, would enjoy the 15-minute city and feel they're doing their part, riding their bike everywhere. Like, I ride my bike, well, not out here, out rural, I don't ride it everywhere. But when I lived in the city, I rode it everywhere. And so, you know, I mean, that is a lifestyle, you know, but it's this SJW way of doing things, and then wanting everybody, you know, there's just a lot of things that have to break free. And to think like, okay, you want to live in a 15-minute city, then good on you. But, you know, the rest of the world doesn't. The rest of the world doesn't buy into this whole fucking climate control bullshit. I mean, we can recognize it's just a way to funnel taxes. And then if you're, you know, a conspiracy theorist, you know, like, they're trying to cover up this cataclysm that's coming because it's a reset. It's a changing of the ages. So whatever, you know, instead of helping people get prepared and telling them, they, you know, they just want people to just die off. And I know, you know, some of the storms are, you know, natural, but they're beefing up some natural ones, but they're also totally creating some storms that wouldn't even be there. Like, what would our winters even be like? And then it's weird this morning when I opened the door, because I decided to make a fire, and I opened the door and it was like, oh my God, it feels tropical out here. Like, what? It doesn't even feel cold. It feels like you want to just go sit outside, which, you know, that's scary because, you know, it's whatever you're breathing. And I'm not even shitting you. Like, I swear to God, I can open the door. And it's just started right away, start sneezing. My nose gets stopped up. Like, man, I know I'm not exaggerating on whatever chemicals we've been being hit with. Like, I don't know what tests that we're being tested on, but it's some fucking bullshit. It's fucked. And so I just cannot wait till this is fucking, until we start going the other direction. Like, there's a lot of good things, like, especially my guides are always showing me there's a lot of good things personally in my own life that will be going, but just in the overall humanity, you know, I really want to see things start going the other direction in so many people's lives. But, you know, I don't know what their plans are, what they needed to deal with or see in order to wake them up. So I can't push on my time. I can't, because I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with your awakening, and it's dragging out a little too much. So, like, anyways, you know, we got to learn about patience and, you know, allowing things to play out the way they're going to play out. But no matter, you know, I do think that we are finally at the time, but don't get disappointed if, whatever manipulation they do on this whole thing, because I just feel so sure that stuff is going to, you know, start going. I just feel like spring that they're going to want things to start getting rebuilt and start getting food grown again and stuff. Like, there's, I mean, they know we're not going to go start eating fucking crickets. Like, I don't give a fuck how many goddamn these stupid big cricket plants they put in and these meat growing labs and shit. We're not going to be eating that shit. Like, yeah, I mean, the science people, yeah, maybe they want to go live in a smart city and eat fucking bugs and grown fucking, God, that's disgusting. I swear to God, go fucking work in a lab, watch what grows in a lab, and then you think about you want to grow your fucking food in there. It's disgusting, and I don't care if it's a different kind of lab that's not doing those kind of experiments. Something growing is like, that is, I mean, bacteria growing, and then whatever they're doing to grow is gross. And then there's another one that is really all on board right now, and it is a 3D printing one that wants you just to print your food out, and they're making beautiful looking steaks and shit like that. It's like, man, to me is, I don't know. I think people are going to have to really change how they look at eating and energy. And there's a lot. Like I said, you know, I can't push up on somebody else's awakening, you know, however it's got to play out for them to see. So anyways, you know, to me, just stay strong, stay vigilant, you know, and to me, you should be detoxing and stuff. To sit here and think like your hair's falling out, your ears are ringing and shit like that from Ascension. And there was some other ones too, where I was like, that is the fucking towers and the fucking poison. What are you talking about, Ascension? And then you have these people, oh, I'm so psychic, and I know they're trying to tell me something. What is this ringing in my ears? I was over next to all of my crystals. I could hear them. And it's so loud, the pressure, I feel like my hair is about... It's like, oh, my Lord. My Lord, my Lord. And so, anyways, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong about it all. Maybe I'm just completely crazy. We'll see. We'll see. So, be safe, and I'll talk to you later.